Have you ever wondered what it would be like to meet a completely different kind of human? For our ancient ancestors, this wasn't science fiction, it was reality. They shared the planet with our closest extinct relatives, the Neanderthals. But who were these people? Were they the brutish cavemen we see in cartoons, or something much more complex? Let's travel back in time and uncover the truth about the Neanderthals. First, let's clear up some myths. Neanderthals weren't our direct ancestors. They were more like our cousins, a distinct branch of the human family tree that evolved in Eurasia while our own species, Homo sapiens, was evolving in Africa. They lived across a vast area, from Europe all the way to Siberia, for hundreds of thousands of years, surviving multiple ice ages. And they were incredibly well adapted to that cold, harsh environment. Forget the hunched-over caricature. Neanderthals walked upright just like us. They were generally shorter and stockier, with a powerful, muscular build. This compact body shape was great for conserving heat. They had a large barrel-shaped chest housing massive lungs, and their most distinctive feature was their face. A prominent brow ridge, a large nose, and a long, low skull that actually held a brain that was on average slightly larger than ours today. That big nose might have helped to warm and humidify the cold, dry air they breathed. So they were tough survivors, but were they smart? Absolutely. The idea that Neanderthals were dim-witted is completely outdated. Archaeologists have found evidence that shows a sophisticated level of thinking. They were expert toolmakers, crafting a specialized set of stone tools known as the Mousterian industry. These weren't just simple rocks. They were carefully shaped hand axes, scrapers, and spear points. They were skilled hunters, capable of taking down large game like mammoths, woolly rhinos, and giant deer. This wasn't a reckless charge. It required planning, cooperation, and communication. And their lives weren't just about survival. We have compelling evidence for symbolic thought and even spirituality. They intentionally buried their dead, sometimes in specific positions and occasionally with objects like tools or animal bones. This suggests they had some form of ritual or belief about the afterlife. They also used pigments like red ochre, possibly for body paint or art, and created simple jewelry from eagle talons and shells. This tells us they had a sense of identity and aesthetics. They weren't just surviving, they were living cultural lives. So if they were so successful and intelligent, where did they go? Neanderthals disappeared from the fossil record around 40,000 years ago, not long after modern humans, our ancestors, began migrating into their territories in Europe. There's no single, simple answer to their extinction. It was likely a combination of factors. Climate change might have put stress on their food sources. Competition with the growing populations of Homo sapiens for resources could have played a major role. We may have had more efficient tools, wider social networks, or a slightly higher birth rate, giving us a demographic edge over thousands of years. It's also possible we brought new diseases that their immune systems couldn't handle. But here's the most fascinating part. They didn't completely disappear. Thanks to the incredible science of ancient DNA, we know that Neanderthals and modern humans interbred. Most people today with ancestry from outside of Africa have about 1 to 2% Neanderthal DNA in their genome. That means a small part of them lives on in us. These genes are linked to things like our immune system, our hair and skin characteristics, and even our susceptibility to certain diseases. So the next time you look in the mirror, remember that you're looking at a living link to our ancient human cousins, a legacy of a lost world that continues to shape who we are today. Thanks for joining me on this journey back in time. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our next exploration into the past.